Hi, my name is Sinead. I'm a performance nutritionist. I work with elite teams, amateur athletes. I work within the community. I work in corporate health, and I also have a one-to-one client practice in Ballybridge and Galway. I'm really enjoying working on this campaign with Revive Active about optimising your nutrition for optimum performance. Revive is a brand I trust myself and has the added benefit of being a Galway-based Irish brand. The best time to exercise for you is the time that's easiest for you. Although recent research has shown that between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. can have a more profound impact on exercise capacity and decreasing body fat. The World Health Organization recommends between 150 to 300 minutes of moderate to intense exercise each week, or perhaps 75 to 150 minutes of higher intensity exercise each week, or a combination of both. Key signs of dehydration include fatigue, dry mouth, thirst, dark urine, dizziness. There's a whole host of different symptoms, but it's really important to tune in and to respect these signs that the body is giving you. If you're excluding meat, it's really important to be mindful to include good levels of protein. It's important to include B12 and iron as well, because this might be missing from the diet. So think about dark green leafy vegetables, beans and lentils, eggs. And remember, it's also important to supplement with a good multivitamin to help support any deficiencies from removing meat from your diet. It's really important to remember before embarking on any training session to be well hydrated. Make sure you're sipping water throughout the day, and to follow the guidelines of 35 millilitres of water per kilogram of body weight, which equates to about 2.5 to 3 litres for most people. It's also really important to time your snacks well. Think about a carbohydrate and a protein-rich snack about an hour before training, and then think about refueling correctly at a ratio of about 3:1 carbs to protein straight after exercise to make sure that you're recovering optimally. I can actually relate to the demands of working and studying full time. I'm just after completing a master's myself in sports and exercise nutrition, and I found it challenging to always eat correctly. What I did find helpful is taking a supplement like Revive Mastermind. It supported my cognitive function, my memory, and my concentration at a very demanding time in my life. Okay, the one thing I recommend when it comes to young children is trying to get as many nutrients into them as easy as possible, and smoothies is one of the easiest ways to do that. So think about protein, maybe nuts and seeds in there. You know, they don't notice when you put in some avocado in there, which is healthy fats. They don't always like the colour of green, so maybe not the green vegetables, but adding in some colourful berries would be really helpful. Also, it's really handy if you get the sachet, the Junior Revive, and pour it into the smoothie. You're adding minerals and vitamins, and the guys and the girls don't even notice it. So it's a win-win. Okay, my top advice is to make sure that you're really focused on your nutrition. I see a lot of clients of mine embarking on triathlons, and they're not adapting their fuel intake to meet the demands of training. So regular carbohydrate intake is really important. It's also really important to have a lot of anti-inflammatory foods in there, like nuts and seeds and berries and healthy fats. You really want to counteract the damage to the cells that may be occurring due to the intense exercise. So be mindful, look after yourself, enjoy your challenges of doing the triathlon, but make sure you're adapting your diet to meet the demands of your training. This is a really important topic, and I'm really glad to have the opportunity to talk about it. Underfueling can have a serious knock-on effect on the body. There's a syndrome in sports nutrition called relative energy deficiency in sport, and it means that the body gets ill because of not fueling correctly. If you're not fueling correctly for the demands of your sport, this is the knock-on effect. Signs and symptoms include impaired performance, recurrent injuries, recurrent illnesses, skipped periods, amenorrhea, poor sleep, poor mood. So it's really important that you honour and respect the fact that your body has to take in adequate amounts of carbohydrate, adequate amount of protein, regular hydration, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory foods to support the demands of training. If you do that on a consistent basis, you should thrive and be able to reach your goals in your sport. One of the most important aspects of choosing a supplement for me is to make sure that the products that I'm supplying or recommending for the players are informed sport tested. This means that they're batch tested and that as much as possible we can say that they're free of any contaminants, because senior and county GAA players are tested athletes and they need to ensure that they're very mindful of what they're putting into their bodies. I would pick brown rice for the high fibre content and for the energy reserves I'd need. I would pick salmon for the healthy fats and the protein. I would pick avocados because they'd satisfy me and my skin would be looking good. After that, maybe sweet potato. And fifth and final, chocolate for pure pleasure.